So if you're like me, then you wonder, why does running always trigger a bear or a panther to chase you? And I was thinking about it, like prey always runs. And the reason prey always runs is because prey is probably fast enough to get away most times, or enough times to where it's still a struggle. Like it's either life or death for the hunted as well as the hunter. Uh, Humans would live close enough to somewhere where we can retreat to find a meal, right? So, but animals don't have that, so they have to either evade, or they have to either catch their prey, or they're not going to be fat enough to make it through the winter. Why would I be thinking about, like, it's just a known fact, don't run from a bear, don't run from a panther, right? But like, you always ever wonder why it works sometimes? Because they're actually timid. They have a bear brain, or they have a panther brain. They don't have like a human brain. If they had a human brain, then they would be asshole. So they would be like bully or something. They would be like, oh, you know, I mean, you got bitch tits, we're gonna fuck with you, or something like that. But it's they don't know what you're gonna do, and if they haven't encountered you and they don't recognize you as food, then they're like timid. Even when they're not timid, like, let's say that they get used to people and they're just roaming around in the city, and you know, it's a recipe for, you know, probably for the bear's disaster, right? Like when they lose the fear of humans, it's a death sentence, more for the bear or the mountain lion or the puma or the cougar or whatever, than it is for a human. So they turned out to be right, even if they don't understand why they're right. And in the ocean, it's kind of the same thing, but it's kind of like there's some species that are like asshole, like those triggerfish. Like they come up to you smiling like they got dentures or something like that, and they bite you and shit, and like rip your scuba gear, like rip your scuba suit, or like, you know, and it's like, oh, this asshole, you know. But like sharks, they don't know what you're gonna do most times, right? But when they're not afraid, like they taste, they like sample taste you, you know. They don't know if you're food or not, but they might still bite you. But you could survive, but you gotta act like you're not prey, and you also have to evacuate, like, eventually. But you're like, if you start swimming, you're gonna look like an injured seal. So you can't punch him in the nose. That was bullshit. There's something that you can do to them, but it's not punching them in the nose. You have to try to turn them over upside down or something. Like, they have the sensitive areas, but like, you have, like, it's not their nose, it's like the part underneath here. So like, here's the nose, and then there's the part underneath here, and you don't punch them. You try to put your thumb up their gills or something. Like, you try to do something, and they might freak out, because like everything is timid if you don't understand what you're dealing with.